whenever we're doing a parking lot and we're doing other areas too, always just focus on that parking lot, get that thing done out of the way, and then focus on the other stuff. When you have your hand off the trigger, this is called the unloader. This unloader closes. It closes so that way we're not having water, the pump shooting water in through the hose, creating pressure in the hose. If that happened, the hose could potentially blow up in your face, right? So the safety, the unloader is considered a safety device on the pressure washer. So what happens is when you get your hand off the trigger and you're not pressure washing anymore, the unloader closes and it doesn't allow water through the pressure hose anymore. What happens with that water is it just gets circulated within the pump here. And then when you press the trigger again, the unloader opens and allows water through the hose, and so you can continue pressure washing. The problem with this design is that water circulates within the pump. It starts to heat up because it's just moving around and around and around really fast, and it creates heat within the pump. If it is circulating for too long, that heat can start to damage internal parts in the pump. So we cannot have the machine running and let go of the trigger for too long. I usually say 10 to 20 seconds maximum without pressing the trigger. It will damage the pump.
Open it again. So now close it, pull this up, push it on, open it, spray.
Okay.
Just all you can do is just press the trigger on the handle of the gun or the surface cleaner, whatever you're using, just to let some water out. That way it releases some of that water out of the pump and releases some of the heat. So every 10-15 seconds you can just press it for 1 second just to let the water out. If you have to stop for an extended period of time, you can either take the tool off of the hose and open up the ball valve just to let the water run out, or if you're stopping for a long time, just come and shut the machine off. So yeah, we never want to have the machine running and not on-off switch. 99% of the time, if you try and turn it on and it's not starting, it's usually because it's off. Everyone forgets to turn it back on after. So when we're starting the machine, always turn it on, start there. Then we have our throttle. So you can see the throttle gauge right here. So we have slow and fast, turtle and rabbit. We usually start it in rabbit mode, fast, and then when we turn it off, we go down and then turn the kill switch off. So we're starting, so we go up, and then we have two levers here, one for fuel, which is on right now. We usually just keep that on all the time, and then we have another one for the choke. When we're starting it, first start of the day, or if it's been sitting for a while, we want to have the choke on. And then once we start it, we let it run for a bit until it starts to, you hear the engine start to die, and then you can turn the choke off. So it's always best to have your pressure washer hose out of the way of the area you're washing. So right now I've got it kind of up on the railing there, just so it's off of the surface that we're going to be cleaning. Sometimes you can't get around it if you're cleaning a big flat surface area. The hose is going to be around there. Just try not to run over the hose with the gun or the surface cleaner. Work around it as best you can. So we're going to attach the tool now, the wand with the turbo nozzle. We're going to turn the ball valve off. We're going to pull back the quick connect and insert the gun. You want to give it a good tug to make sure it's connected, because if you turn this and it's not connected properly, it's going to pop off. So we'll just turn it on slowly. So we got a good connection there. So now I'm going to start working from my high point. See, when you go too fast, that's what it looks like. You see lines, there's still some dirt there. That's not good. We want it to look like this, nice and clean all the way across. So that's gonna dictate how fast you can go or how slow you need to go, is what it looks like while you're cleaning.